pretty big now. It's continually growing since its heyday in the 80s. There's now 36 clubs, I believe. 37 now this league, 'cause there was two more that joined. There's 37 clubs in the league throughout the country, Scotland, England and Wales, based in three divisions. There's a Division 1, Division 1A and Division 2.
How did your interest first sort of come about then in the sport?
Through watching it on telly. Its heyday in Channel 4. Used to be on Channel 4 constantly. Used to play it around school with a few friends, and then just got involved with a club that was in Tunbridge at the time.
You mentioned that you used to play it at school. I mean, it's not the traditional sort of sport you associate with school, certainly not over here.
Yeah, no, that's true. It was just a few of us that used to play at playtime, really. Just used to throw the ball around and try and copy the people off the telly that we used to watch on the Sunday on Channel 4.
One man who's looking on and smiling is Norman Navarro, who's a player and also does plenty of coaching with you. And Norman was basically laughing at that one. How do the English compare to the Yanks then?
I think they're doing quite well. It's coming on. It's been interesting seeing them play and watching them learn. Our team specifically, the guys have come on in leaps and bounds, and they're like sponges. They just soak everything up. Whatever you tell them, they're just like listening, eyes wide open, and it's been a long time since I've seen that in a player, so I thoroughly enjoy working with the guys and playing with them as well.
Your accent tells me that you're not a native of Kent. How did you...
I am. Well, not a native, no. As I stated, I am from Dartford, but via New York City. Spanish Harlem, to be exact.
Well, tell us a bit about how you managed to get them from Dartford over to the United States and then back here again.
It's quite an interesting story. My ex-wife is English. We worked for the same company, and we got the company to move her to America, but then we decided to come back here. We have children, so I'm still here for my children and to play football with the guys.
So what's it like being the player coach? I mean, do you get a great buzz out of not only playing but coaching youngsters too?
Yeah, I also work with the youth team, which is great. We've got a great head coach with the youth team, James McCarthy, and he's got a lot to teach the guys, but I just love helping out. And as I said, the youth team are almost no different than the senior team. They're just so interested in learning the game, and you feel a really good sense of accomplishment when you get a point over to them, and then you see them implement it on the field. So it's really good. I enjoy it.
Also with us today is Martin Jefkins, who's the club's treasurer come media man, and basically looks after the important things, keeping the media up to date with all what's happening. So he's doing a good job. We've spoken with Dave, and he says 37 clubs in the league. Talk us through some of the other clubs in Kent then.
Yeah, well, basically at the moment there's three senior teams in Kent. There's ourselves, the Kent Exiles, based in Orpington. There's also a team, the Pumas, based in Maidstone, and there's a new team starting this year, currently called the Falcons, who are playing in Canterbury. There's also the only youth team in Kent, which is the Exiles up in Orpington.
What's the rivalry like then?
Pretty fierce, especially between the Pumas and the Exiles. It goes back a fair few years now. So yeah, pretty fierce. They're always good local derbies.
And Dave, I would imagine that there must be a fair bit of interest in the sport this week with the Super Bowl having just taken place. I would imagine added interest, is there?
Definitely. I mean, it helps that this year it's been on ITV, which means it was on terrestrial television for the first time in, I think, 46 years or something like that, I think. And I do believe Martin knows more, but I think we've had quite a few people that have contacted us through our website, etc., wishing to come down this Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. We've pretty much had more contacts through our website this week than we have in the last 3 or 4 months put together. So, I mean, so far this week we've had over 20 people, youth and senior, contact us about playing or coming and helping out.
Well, obviously, Norman, you've got experience of playing the sport over in America and here too. I mean, what is the real big difference? I mean, how healthy is the sport over here compared to America?
The sport is healthy. It's still in its infantile stage, a youth stage, I'd rather say, than infantile, because there needs to be a more concerted effort for a unity among the teams. Sometimes I think there's a little too much fighting, for individual prowess and domination over the league rather than looking to make the league bigger as a whole. And once they get past it, I think it's the sky's the limit. You know, we've got a couple of guys on our team that we're looking to get them involved at a higher level, maybe send them to semi-professional leagues in the United States, and some of our younger guys we're looking to send them to university in the States, and they can compete. They can compete.
We've mentioned.
Yeah, sorry.
Go on.
I think every team has at least 2 players that can compete at a higher level in America. It's just a matter of getting them, you know, getting them to visit, getting people to see them, you know, getting them the opportunity. And once that's done, more and more will come to see what England has to offer.
We've mentioned at your club that you work hard on the youth policy, Dave, and that's pleasing to hear. I mean, when people first get involved, how old are they? Because I would imagine that there must be, what with safety and everything, it's a pretty contact sport, isn't it? How young are the sort of real young ones getting involved?
Well, it's from, I mean, our club, it's from the age of 14 upwards. There are, in some schools and things, they've started to do flag football, which is like flag rugby. You know, you tackle by removing the piece of flag material that's velcro to a belt. They do that version for the younger ages, which is from 5 upwards. But we have a youth team that's from the age of 14 upwards. You've got a youth group which is 14 to 16, and then a youth group which is from 16 to 19, and then what we play, which is senior, which is 18 up to whenever you want to give up, really.
Well, obviously there's lots of people listening and probably wanting to get involved. Martin, you're probably the best man to take people through. How can they get involved?
It's dead easy to get involved. All you need to do is log on to the Exiles website at www.kentexiles.co.uk and get in touch with us through there. We can put you in touch with your local team wherever you live, so not just us, any team throughout the whole country.
So it's basically, if people are listening not only in Kent but people listening on the World Wide Web, you can literally put them in contact with any club.
Yep, absolutely. Even if it's abroad, I've got a few contacts there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have sort of 40-ish players, don't you, in an average squad?
This year we're going to have more than that. We've done a lot of heavy recruiting, as well as I think our reputation speaks for itself, because we're very much a family-oriented club. I bring down my daughters. I even bring my daughter's dog down, which is a small little white fluffy dog. And
Probably
she comes,
better than me.
Yeah. She's in charge of intimidating the other team, but everybody brings down their partners, and we do a lot of stuff other than football, which is very important for myself, which is what is another reason that keeps me coming back. And I think that has given us a lot of attention throughout the league, and people have been coming to us. So this year, over 50,
Yeah.
I'd say. I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, heads on the chopping block time. Season's just about to get underway. How do you think you're going to get on? Firstly, you, Dave. The chairman must go first.
El Presidente.
I'd say very well, but you know, the old cliches, take one game at a time and see how it goes. But I think we could do quite well. So,
Norman?
If I give you the political answer, I'll say quite well. But if I give you my honest answer, I think the only thing that's going to stop us is us this year. We've got a lot of returning players and some good new players coming into the mix, and we're going to be killing them this year. That's it.
Martin?
Well, hopefully the Pumas aren't listening to this, but I've got to agree with my friend Norman.